네, 지금 소리가 잘 안 들리는데요. 조금 소리를 키워서 말씀해 주시길 부탁드립니다.
Actuellement, en fait, on n'entend pratiquement rien. Alors, est-ce que vous pouvez faire remonter votre volume, s'il vous plaît?
Good morning. Is it clear?
조금만 더 키워서 말씀해 주시면. 아, 네, 이제 잘 들립니다. 발표 시작 부탁드립니다.
Oui, maintenant c'est bon, vous pouvez commencer.
Alors, is the sound clear? Can I start?
Yes, you can start now.
Okay, thank you very much. So, the subject of my presentation is the analyzing economic and industrial status by country and seeking for the development direction, the action plan, the country of Tunisia. First of all, I want, before starting, I want to thank all the team members. I want to thank all the team members about their efforts they make in order to accomplish all of this work. The planning of this the presentation is divided in three main parts. The part one, we will focus on the status, a quick presentation of the status of the economy and the industry. The chapter two, we will focus on the economic development goal and solution. And finally, we will finish with the outline of proposed technopark. If we start with a quick remind about the status of the economy and the industry. So the scale of GDP in Tunisia is about $125 billion at the end of 2021. The employment rate is about 83.18, and economic growth is about 3.1%. The main sectors in our economy are the service sector, the agriculture sector, and the third one is the manufacture service. If we start with the manufacturing sector, it contributes roughly about 6% of the GDP and employs an equal proportion of the population. The level of technology and in the industry. In Tunisia, the social innovation sector is rapidly expanding with $22.1 million spent by investors and 47 deals made in 2018. Of these investments, we have 79% are local and 21% are international. Tunisia has a comprehensive system of innovation and technical support to the firms. It is composed of 50 research centers abroad, 8 sector technical centers, 9 technology parks, and the National Institute of Standards and Intellectual Property Agency to promote the research, the innovation, and the creations of the firms. We can see here in the figure above the percentage of high technology exports and research and development expenditure in Tunisia and worldwide. It's obvious that the level of high technology is in Tunisia is still lower comparing to the international one. For the agriculture sector, the agriculture plays a crucial role in Tunisia's economy, accounting for 14% of the GDP and 20% of the workforce. The country accounts for between 5 to 10% of olive oil and 30 to 45% of wheat. These are some statistics about the exportation and importation in the agriculture sector. We will move now to the second part, in which we will focus on the economic development goal and the solution. So, which are our the economic development goals? First of all, to improve the value chains enhance the industry exports, develop and improve the actual industrial platform, be up to date regarding the global evolution of the technology, improve the economic improve the economic opportunities presented to young and increase the job creation, improve the infrastructure to enhance the implementation of new projects and to income new investors, increase the participation of women in job opportunities, and finally improve the use of natural resources in the lesser developed regions of the country. The direction developments. Side of industry, enhance innovation, especially in terms of digitalization and smart industry, improve the globalization of companies, encourage green industry, renewable resources and waste valorization, marketing to Tunisia as a destination for renewed investments. Side of unstructured, provide the condition of success to technology technoparks to play a central role in supporting the competitiveness of the industrial sector. Second, improve the actual clusters and efficient development of new ones. Third, the valorization of research organisms and deepen connections with all actors. The development field to assist SMEs on their transformation with technological tools and the needed know-how, support SMEs with suitable funding mechanism to implement this innovation. Treatments. For the strength points according to the economy and industry of the country, we can talk about an interesting geographical location with a favorable climate, opening to outside Tunisia trade agreement with Europe and Africa. Tunisia has a good potential in terms of entrepreneurship ecosystem, competitive industrial platforms, IT development, transition to e-commerce. Tunisia is ranked one of the best countries in North Africa in terms of innovation, competitive logistics, cost outside Tunisia, presence of infrastructure and import and export circuit, available and qualified labor at a lower cost, an interesting territory potential, budget allocation for the government to support innovation and development, good potential in terms of service sector. If we move to the witness points, we can talk about financial difficulties, like lack of financial solutions, frustration with traditional financing solutions, loan conditions that were perceived to be rigid and crippling for business. For the non-financial difficulties, it includes the lack of entrepreneurial skills, difficulties in building a strong team, weak connection with markets, and difficulties in obtaining hands-on post-investment. Another weak point, support problematic access to finance. Many industries are also suffer from expansion of the informal market, the unavailability of statistics and updates for all domains. Technological transfer is poor in spite of the existence of structures and mechanisms. Then we will talk about the opportunities and threats. Let's start with the opportunities points. Easy access to new markets, good cooperation and relationship with other countries in many fields, and have the high percentage of graduates. Which are the threats? We have the international economic and health crisis, a decline in local and foreign demand due to the poor economic, economic climate, other economic competitors in North Africa like Egypt and Morocco, limited foreign financial support, migration of the migration of the national scales. So one of the solutions is, of course, to build technoparks. Why? The technoparks can bring together in the same geographical area the scientific potential existing in a given region. It can create an ideal environment for technology transfer and the creation of cutting-edge companies. It can multiply meetings between research and industrials by means of cross-fertilization to create new products and new high-tech projects. strengthen international credibility by opening up new technological horizons and new markets, create research industry, synergy, and links of encounter and exchange between the compartmentalized worlds, offer a scientific and technical database, essential support for information and development. The last chapter is about the outline of the proposed technopark. This is a list of the 9 technoparks that we have in Tunisia. We have the Biotech Technopole, Ecopark, Technopark Al Ghazala, Technopark Bizar Technopark, Gafsa Technopark, Menastir, Sousse, Gebes, and ICT Technopark. Each technopark is localized in a region. And this is the main localization of all these technoparks. Which are the roles, the main roles of these technoparks? The main roles are to facilitate the creation and development of innovative activities based on exchanges and cooperation between companies, research centers, and establishment of training. The level for development of its region and the sector in which it is positioned. The management companies also play the role, which are implemented in the technopark, of course, also play the role of facilitators of the technopolitan ecosystem that they are developing. They are also called upon to shine in their territories to stimulate the transfer of knowledge and technologies and strengthen collaborative work through the engineering of R&D projects and clustering initiatives in particular. Our technopark, our proposed technopark is called the Tunisian Product Technopark, TPT, with the abbreviation of TPT. This technopark is for everyone. The local population, young promoter, businesses and private companies, and the government, all of whom will have the opportunity to find the best conditions to further develop their productivity and also gain more knowledge in the fields of innovation and technology related to local products like olive oil, dates, pomegranate, harissa, bsissa. The Tunisian Product Technopark creates a synergical atmosphere between all the actors, promote innovation, and increase the competitiveness. The objectives. Sorry, are you following me? Because my colleagues here, they told me that the presentation is stopped. Which I'm in slide number 20.
네, 화면이 지금 잠시만요. 화면 공유를 다시 시작해 주시면 좋을 것 같습니다.
Est-ce que vous pouvez repartager votre écran, s'il vous plaît?
네, 그러면 다시 접속하셔서 네, 화면 공유하신 다음에 다시 시작해 주시면 될 것 같습니다.
Donc, on va attendre le groupe 1 jusqu'à ce qu'il recommence à partager son écran.
I'm sorry about this interruption. Can I continue now?
Yeah, you can continue. Yes, you
Yeah?
can continue
Okay.
now. Yeah.
Because they told me that the presentation was blockaded. In which slide would you please? So, please, would you tell me in which part the interruption started? I don't know in which part.
Actually, at the time when you delivered your presentation, the slide was stopped at the SWOT slide, the first page of the SWOT slide.
Of course. But I can't. I have to restart from the SWOT matrix, or I continue.
I think the general status analysis will be already enough. Okay, so you'd rather be focused on your action plan. 2 sheets.
Okay, good. So the objectives of our Tunisian Technopark are increasing business competitiveness between companies producing local products, encouraging the collaborations and the creation of synergical atmosphere between firms and actors working in local products, creation of innovative products in high added value, creation of new jobs, encouraging new entrepreneurs to set up new companies have the potential on technology-based production capacity, promoting exports to foreign markets, preservation of local market share, is supporting innovative organization by providing them with material, technical, informational, financial, and social base, increasing client companies' resilience under market conditions, and finally providing a commercial product by introducing technologies and creating new types of products. The main goals are development of agro-industrial value chains, promoting of origin linked quality labels, implementation of a collective communication and marketing plan in order to ensure sales of regional products, both on national and international markets, creating positive externalities for the region, city, and country, increasing investment attractiveness of the territory. I'm in slide 21. Is it on your screens, please? I want to verify if we are in the same slide. 22, slide
Yes,
22.
Yes, we are in the same slide.
Okay, good. So the Technopark is based on 4 pillars. First of all, management unit ensuring the monitoring of and consulting. The second pillar, research for the research and development units of R&D, laboratories, units of technological transfer. For the production, we have the incubators, innovative companies. For the training, we have meeting room, training program, innovation seminar, and cell of communication.
Sorry for interruption, but I think we still have the same problem. The slide has stopped.
23 now, not on the...
No, we are seeing 18 page 18.
18 now.
Yes.
This is maybe the problem of connection. And we move to the advantages of the Tunisian Technopark. And on slide 24, the advantages are safe protected space, green environment, stable infrastructure, friendly support infrastructure, excellent data connectivity, startups and incubation support, robust support facilities, lower operational costs, pre-tax for startups, robust support facilities, and conventionally, and of course, the location. The major difficulties in developing of the our Technopark model are I don't know if you are in the slide 25, not in the same slide, I think.
Actually, we are still watching the same page. If you have the same problem again, we can share the material by my computer. So we have to select. So you are in the page 25, is that right?
I'm in the difficulties, major issues and difficulties of the Technopark. Difficulties.
Iman, why don't you go to the page, action plan page, table page, this page? Can you look at this one?
The Excel table?
Yes. You submit this one as the replacement of the original.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
I'd rather you to be focused on this slide.
Okay, okay. Is it, I shared it on my screen. Is it, or just 1 moment, I will disconnect and reconnect another time in order to share the screen with you. Just 1 moment.
Yes, I can see the table now.
Can you see the table now?
Yes,
Yes, right.
okay.
Okay, good. So the action plan for our I'm sorry for this interruption. I think that we have a technical problem. So the action plan of Tunisian Product Technopark dedicated to olive oil, dates, tomato, pomegranate, prickly pear, fig, and so on. Okay, we have 3 main objectives. The concept and creation of the Technopark. The second one, exploitation and production, and finally, the communication and marketing. Let's see the first objective. The tasks of the first objective are mainly the establishment of the current state and identification of stakeholders and the synergy between all actors. The main actors are ministers, universities, center of technological resources, incubators, startups, clusters, SME, project steering community of project. The persons who will dedicated to do these tasks are the Ministry of Industry, Agriculture, Research and Higher Education, and we can choose a consultancy officer. The main resources, of course, we need studies on local products, the market share, the disponibility in the region, and the budget allocated to studies. We estimate to do this task from January 2024 to March 2024. There is the main KPI. Of course, we need results. We have results of the studies and list of TP actors. The second task in the same objective is the site programming diagram of TP and the implementation of inputs. We have to choose the land availability, the architecture of the TP, the proximity to transport or access infrastructure, the presence of university centers or research laboratories, the proximity to rural areas, especially for women and young employees. The main components of the TP, we will have a management unit of the TP, R&D part, which will be how to manage the university, the CRT, incubators. We will have equipment and staff needs and services. The persons who will be in charge of these tasks are the project steering committee of project. The resources we will need databases and of course a budget. The calendar of the establishment of this task from March 2023 to September, almost 6 months. The KPI plan of BTP, loss of equipment, and the last step list of services. The last task in the same objective, the implementation of the technopark and the acquisition, of course, of the equipment. This task will be done with the project steering committee of the project. We will include the Ministry of Equipment, architects, contractors, and contractors' office. Resources to allocated to do this task. We need a budget from the government or a foreign grant. Of course, we need staff to do the task, for example, for the construction and so on. It can take, the implementation can take 2 years. And the KPI of this action is the inauguration of the technopark. Let's move to the second object. The second object is the exploitation and production in the technopark. Two major components in production of the technopark are the farmers and transformers. For the farmers, we need to optimize the harvest conditions, for example, biological production, exploitation of natural resources such as water, energy, and so on. For the transformers, we have to do the optimization of the 5M method: material, environment, man, and machine, and waste. Technical, we need technical assistance, periodic training sessions, and for the third pillar is the R&D. We need development of new innovative productions, development of prototypes. We do an implementation of technological transfer office to manage and assist all components of the TP and the external actors, the scientific articles, the patent, the protection of intellectual property, and for the resources needed to do this task. Of course, the farmers, the companies, the experts, the staff of R&D, and the trainers. We need like resources, a budget. It can be a personal contribution from the farmers or transformers, or it can be a government grant or a local and foreign grant. Or we can have sponsoring. We, of course, the conventions with public and private institutions can be resources for the accomplishment of this task, which are the KPIs.
1 minute.
So the number, are you listening? Is there any problem?
Yes, I can listen now, but you have 1 minute.
Okay, I will finish. So number of recruits, number of new markets and its share, number of trainings, number of patent and scientific articles, revenue, number of TPs actor, number of new projects, number of new products, number of new major companies which can develop their own brands, results of technology watch unit. The third objective is the exploitation, the marketing, the promotion, and the communication and the marketing. The main tasks is the first one, establishment of communication plan and marketing plan by organization of seminars, communication about the activities, features, and services of BGP. The persons which will do this, who will do this action are unit of marketing and communication, unit of international cooperation. The resources are database, partnership agreement, budget, sponsoring. And the time for doing this task needed, we will start from November, and we think that this is a continuous action. The KPI here, so I will come back to the tasks and I will represent all the KPI because these KPI are related to all the tasks. The second task is the valorization of local product of the GP and the emphasis on their advantages for many sectors: food, cosmetic, pharmaceutical, via promotion tools like media, social media, the B2B. Third task, organization and participation on local and international events like fairs, seminars. Another task we can do on the communication and marketing, the organization of competition related to the best product in the term of innovation, for example. We can do a promotion of labels, for example, the controlled design of origin, the organic label, for example. And we can establish conventions with international organizations to promote the designed local products. The KPI of all these tasks, the schedule completion rate, number of realized projects, the revenue, of course, the number of agreements signed, and the number of prices won. So this is the action plan. I don't know if I can continue the presentation or it's enough at this stage.
Yeah, I think it's enough. So please finish your
presentation. Okay, thank you very much for your attention. I want to thank again all the members of the team of the group 1 and hope good luck for the other groups. Thank you very much.
Ok, très bien. Donc, en fait, j'ai préparé une présentation qui est un peu longue. J'ai donc illustré toutes les étapes du rapport envoyé du COICA. Pour être factuel, donc, je vais commencer directement par la partie du technoparc, de l'idée du technoparc qu'on a donc essayé à la réaliser.
네, 이미 보내드렸던 그 보고서를 바탕으로 사실 굉장히 상세하게 이 액션 플랜 PPT를 저희가 만들었는데요. 시간 관계상 이걸 다 말할 수는 없을 것 같기 때문에 그냥 테크노파크 아이디어를 언급하는 부분부터 그냥 시작을 하도록 하겠습니다.
Donc, je peux commencer?
Oui.
Ok, merci. Good morning, everyone. Donc, I want to present for you today the concept of the proposed technopark model. We wish to implement a new technopark specialized on olive oil, especially in the governorate of Sfax. Now, I will show you more details. So the mission of this technopark, in fact, Tunisia is the most important southern Mediterranean country in the field of olive production and export after the European Union. For Tunisia, olive growing is the main agricultural activity, and its socio-economic role is of permanent importance. In fact, it contributes to the achievement of the national goals of economic growth, food security, job creation, and increased export earnings, and the preservation and enhancement of natural resources. Concerning olive production, there is 3,900 producers. It's about 60% all of them are farmers, derive all of or part of their income from growing olive trees. Concerning the processing, Tunisia counts more than 1,750 oil mills, 15 refining units, 10 extraction units for olive oil, and about 20 bottling plants and soap factories. More than 200 private traders alongside the National Oil Office produce an average of 132,000 tons of exports on a production of 65,000 tons. It's approximately 67%. So presently, the cultivation of olive trees and the production of olive oil generate massive amounts of solid wastes, including olive tree pruning, olive leaves, olive stone, and liquid effluents such as olive promise, olive oil meal, wastewaters, and olive meal waste, depending on the techniques used for oil manufacture. So olive byproducts have long been considered as a challenging waste material impacting environmental protection, but this view has recently been reformed, leading to their recognition as a source of high added value compounds as phenols and antioxidants that can be reused as natural additives in the food, cosmetic, and drug industries. That's why we need to implement a new technopark in Sfax, which is mission will be the valorization of olive oil and its residues from the production in Tunis. So the government support structures recognizing the importance of promoting the export of olive oil. Tunisia has opted for a strategy based on forward-looking and promising initiatives and measures. These measures essentially affect the exportations measures. The olive sector is supported by several governmental institutions, which are the Ministry of Agriculture, the Ministry of Industry and Technology, of Commerce and Handicrafts, the Technical Center of Organic Agriculture, and the Agriculture Investment Promotion Agency, the Export Promotion Center, and the Technical Center for Packaging, PACTEC. So the reasons why we have chosen the government of Sfax, it's in fact the national first rank in olive production. Olive groves occupy 356,000 hectares. It's about 83% of the total agriculture area and 20% of the national area of olive groves. 8 million vines produce an average of 201,000 tons per year, which represents 20% of the national production. The production of olives for the 2019-2020 season reached 325 million tons, which made it possible to extract 71,000 tons of olive oil. We have two big spaces as Hinshir Sha'al and the Hinshir of Bishka. Olive groves provide more than 700 jobs between technical, administrative, and other, and the number of non-continental workers can exceed 3,000 during the olive harvest season. The area of land planted with olive trees and fruit trees in 2020 amounted to approximately 420,000 hectares, including 356,000 hectares of olive trees. The number of olives has grown from 380,000 olive origins in 1881 to around 8 million olive origins today. The olive trees of Sfax provide more than 23% of Tunisian national production. The agricultural wealth is exploited by modern oil mills intended for canning and export. It's about 63 companies exporting olive oil and the traditional ones, most of whose production is intended for the local market. The 346 oil mills of Sfax constitute 33% of the total Tunisian oil mills and have an average process capacity of 10,000 tons per day. As such, during the 2019-2020 season, only 175 oil mills were produced 57% of the production of olive oil, which earned the region of Sfax the first national rank in the production of olive oil. The objectives of this technopark will be as follows. The olive byproducts have long been considered as a problematic waste material, but this view has recently changed, leading to the recognition of byproducts such as leaves, aqueous olive meal, wastewater, olive cake, and olive promise as potential low-cost sources of phenols and oxidants that can be extracted and used as natural additives in the food and the drug industries. The polyphenols present in the olive leaves have been shown to pose important antioxidant, anti-inflammatory, anti-allergenic, and antimicrobial activities, and even possible anti-cancer effects. The chemical composition of olive byproducts can be quite dissimilar from that of olive fruit. For instance, olives are very rich in secured glycosis, while olive meal wastewater contains a high concentration of secured derivatives. On one hand, due to the presence of an outstanding number of phenols, flavonoids, most of them not fully characterized, there is need to develop a rapid, sensitive, and accurate analytical platforms for their characterization. On the other hand, the application of green techniques to the extraction of bioactive compounds from olive leaves or other byproducts could be of great interest, not only for the attainment of these natural active compounds, but also for the possibility of reusing significant byproducts from the industry. The goals of this technopark. Today, developed countries are not just talking about agriculture or agribusiness, but set a strategic goal in developing high-tech and profitable sector of the bioeconomy as a serious alternative to traditional industries, economies, and markets, modern agriculture, and worldwide growth, structural change of consumption of food. This factor is directly linked with the global orientation of rural households in the world at improving the productivity of agricultural land, reduction of losses, and increase in food production. The agricultural sector focuses on the production and the processing of agricultural products, storage, transportation, and sales of finished products. That's the agriculture sector requires for professionals with expertise and skills relevant to the entire production cycle. The transition to the bioeconomy market changed the nature and conditions of agricultural workers. The article provides a rationale for the necessity of establishment of Technopark in the government of Sfax as an innovative factor of increasing competitiveness of agriculture in Tunisia under global challenges. The main goal of this Technopark is to improve the exploitation of the olive leaves, olive byproducts, and improve the extraction techniques used in this industry. It's very important to plan critical aspects for the implementation of this Technopark as follows. We have, first of all, to define a roadmap for the implementation of these projects. So we need to identify new partners. As the sources, we have to search for specific programs, even national or international. The timeline, it will be about 2023 to 2024. And as a KPI, we can make 10 partnerships agreements. The second goal will be the financial aspects of implementation and economic sustainability. So we have to communicate and awareness more all the parties. We need for convention with the strategic partners. The timeline, as we have said, it will be between 2023 to 2024. And as the KPI, we can found 40 companies supported. The next goal will be the use of the new technology, the industry of 4.0. We will need for more coaching, and we will stay to establish a specific program. As a KPI, we can found 25 companies trained. The other goal will be the programs incorporating companies of young talent. We have to identify new partners. We need to search for specific assistance program. As a KPI, it will be 30 partnership agreements. The transfer of knowledge, we need so much for this one. So we can support in the development of a new business model. We can establish a specific program, and as a KPI, we can found the 40 companies supported. The next three goals are the new management methodologies. We have to establish for specific training sessions in production management. As sources, we can found the specific agreement between public and private institutions specializing in project management. The KPI will be 20% of professionals trained. The other goal will be to assist companies to develop their own brands. The step that we have need is about the search for launching to help new innovative startups emerge. We have to solicit national and international donors, and it will be a goal that continuously for 5 years again. The last goal, it will be the sustainability and the clean production of olive oil, water use efficiency, renewable energy, and the circular economy. We will search for ecological alternatives to production by establishing a specific program, and as a KPI, we can have 10 companies supported. We will go now for the main functions and components of this technopark. This multifunctional building aims at providing services to industrialists and researchers. It will host components of industry, research, and training. We need for 2 prototypes of automatic oil mill, a laboratory specialized in fat analysis, a well-lighted room free from any others for sensory evaluation of olive oil. We need for co-working spaces, innovation and research laboratories, technology transfer office, a space of a host media business incubator, a new leisure facilities, sorry, a hotel, a training and certification center, and a support area with residential units, a shopping center, and etc. We will now see the features and advantages of this olive technopark. This technopark will be a subject of a scientific and innovation infrastructure which creates conditions conducive to the development of production in the scientific and technical sphere, provided there is an equipped and experimental base and a high concentration of qualified personnel. This technopark will have special infrastructure, building structures, telecommunications, which along with certain tax benefits is provided to new high-tech firms. The major issues and difficulties really in developing this technopark model, while this technopark seems to fulfill its objectives, the global approach of Tunisian government to technoparks poses several problems. Nearly 15 years after their effective start and as was conceived and executed, there were obvious difficulties with their implementation. First of all, the number of technoparks is probably too high for small developing countries like Tunisia. We have approximately 7 technoparks. In the ICT, and secondly, Tunisia didn't take into account the evolution of science parks and TPs. New designs are emerging in the world. In particular, the substitution of the concept of TPs with new models such as competence centers and clusters. The first model is designed around academic centers of excellence, and they produce the most results, publications, and patents, and have more interconnections with industrial partners. The second model focuses on the most successful industrial clusters in the country and support their efforts by providing research centers, technical resource centers, higher education institutions, and incubators. These new models avoid the additional costs associated with the development of large empty spaces, exploit the academic and industrial potential of the country. The third reason was the TPS failed to attract high-profile entrepreneurs and managers. The managers of TP projects, at least at their starting phase, were selected only based on their academic skills instead of their entrepreneurship skills and ability to mobilize networks of competencies and skilled people. Most businessmen, even new managers coming from the universities and short-term profit seeking, which is conflict with building a national R&D and innovation system, more long-term profit perspective. The fourth reason, or the fourth obstacle, is the selection process in establishing the location of technoparks and their area of expertise is questionable. The fifth one will be that there is a serious lack of skills and human resources in several TPs. And the sixth one will be the role of the government, who's have to be reconsidered. For TPs to be successful, the private sector should be in the derived seat, and government should serve as enabler, providing and conducive innovation ecosystem. So the government then turned its attention to facilitation, coordination, and regulation instead of fostering conglomerates as the other countries. So now I will speak about what as is and what should to be. Some of problems actually in the sector of olive oil is that the labor scarcity is a threat to the harvest because the rural exodus. As a solution, we can help the farmers in buying some olive harvesters for faster and more efficient olive harvesting. The other obstacle was the market price is far below farmers' expectations. It barely exceeds the costs of labor, energy, machinery rent for plowing that farmers have to pay throughout the year. So as a solution, we can review industrial strategies like packaging, labels, designation of origin, delivery outlets should represent alternatives to this competitive market for Tunisia has also to face the emergence of new producers and stringent European Union measure. As a problem, actually, we face that the Tunisian oil is still exported in bulk rather than in individual bottles. This is the main obstacle to the creation of value in the export sector, as the Italian industrialists have often been accused of buying the Tunisian olive oil for resale template made in Italy. As a solution, we can push more to a strategy oriented to packaged olive oil instead of exporting in bulk. Signaling quality is one way of enhancement of export products. As another problem we face actually is the lack of conditioning units. It's a major problem that needs to be solved, especially for the regions that are far from the coastal areas. As a solution, we can support more the small and medium enterprises, the SMEs, on implementing conditioning units in the technopark. And as we can know that the know-how of most assets based on inherited tradition doesn't give much importance to the economic consideration of optimizing the exploitation of the olive potential. As a result, as a solution, we can working on networking university industrial to improve the know-how and improve of olive growers' practices and decisions. And the last point is about the aging of a large proportion of currently active farm managers, so we can encourage the development of new production methods oriented to young graduates. And finally, thank you for your attention.
So, good morning, everybody, and good afternoon for our South Korean partners. Our group 3 is really pleased to try to present his action plan, and it's more than an action plan, it's an initiative to try to work on IPE cluster synergy initiative as a success pilot input for the strategic development of the Tunisian technoparks based on the South Korean triumph in technoparks. So we will talk about it's okay?
Yes, it's
for
okay.
the sound. Yes. So sorry. We will talk, as I said, about the personal protective equipment and try to analyze the economic and the industrial status of Tunisia and seeking for the development direction. Before starting, I want to thank Mr. Maximilian Banner, which work already on cluster policy as a development strategy case studies from the Middle East and North Africa. He inspired us a lot, and many thanks to him to try to develop something better, to try to synergize and to converge with efforts, especially on textiles field and the textile and apparel field. So many thanks also to our Group 3 members and partners, Madam Suhair Kshaw, Madam Iman Slama, Mr. Mustafa Al-Atri, and many thanks to Mr. Yassin Kshaw also from our ministry, and I'm Walid Ayed, to try to present this work. I will go on from the work already done concerning the status of the economy and the industry, the economic development goal and solution, the outline proposed for Technopark model, as we are trying to present the first step to reach the technoparks. Because as you know, in Tunisia, there is already many important infrastructures already done, but the real need to go on with the technoparks is to synergize what is already done. So what was already done is a great work about infrastructures, many structures, many startups, not a lot of incubators or a lot of clusters working on the synergy. And what we really need to create with this action plan to move on the next step, which is technoparks using the South Korean model. So as you see, I'm trying to go on with the state of the industry, which already was presented in the last meeting, to try to focus more on the SWOT analysis, on the issues, on the goals, and on the action plan, which we really hope to work on it and pass or move from the first step as an action plan to do and to learn later. So the economic development goal is a cluster synergy initiative as a success pilot input for the strategic development of Tunisian technoparks. Represents an expected success story method to influence policymakers in Tunisia based on the high degree of dynamism of the South Korean technoparks triumph. In order to address these challenges, a cluster policy is needed that targets both human capital and labor initiative industries in both urban and rural clustering zones. Our development direction is to promote and uplevel the textile and apparel industry as an appealing perspective for technical cooperation practitioners, as it should be seen as a way to anchor a pertinent and sustainable end-to-end activity between South Korea and Tunisia in an area of multinational cooperation. So based on the South Korean success story, the case of personal and individual protective equipment synergy development may afford a visible expected achievement for technological know-how transfer, evaluated by ways of institutionalization, employment, and high value-added outputs. It is clustering initiative. If this clustering initiative will be successful, it can contribute to the creation of employment and to the initiation of growth processes in urban regions and even in some rural ones. And this is our strategy to try to go on with technoparks in Tunisia, hopefully soon. From the side of industry, starting by a specific cluster to energize the individual protective and equipment industry by ensuring human and financial resources needed by the initiative, by evaluating the actual status of connections level between several actors, the Ministry of the Industry, Mines and Energy, the Ministry of Higher Education, the Ministry of Professional Training and Employment. The technopoles already exists, our universities and yours, the startups that can help, the Tunisian Federation of Textile and Apparel, FTTH, the CETEX, which is our honorable technical center, and with our grateful partner, KOICA, and the South Korean technoparks working on the IPE. So we will try to study and understand the actual blocking constraints as the missing or incoherent laws and bridges to prepare and implement actions minimizing the divergence. We will also work on grasping the real microeconomic situation to fix the needs and the musts of each part, able to facilitate the accomplishment of this specific synergy targeted. And we will try to involve and promote by the best communication way, the step-by-step cellular wake-up by promoting the high value added and know-how transfer until the real establishment of this cluster. What we will really try to do later is to reconnect professionals and promising PMEs, SMEs, small and medium enterprises in innovative environment after contacting individually each interested practitioner able to help and to work on this program. We'll try also to ensure the development of punctual and customized project errors proofing and milestones follow-up, and to develop the trust, which is really important, to develop the trust level by a common vision between the South Korean and the Tunisian practitioners able to afford the best solution to reach the targeted goal. From the side of infrastructure, since our technical center, the CETEX, is located in 3 main regions in Tunisia, in Tunis, in Monastir, and in Sfax, we are sure that the activation of the special economic zone of the North, Central, and South can be implemented or can be implemented by the IPE cluster in the CETEX, as it's already present in the biggest agglomeration and already represented in those several zones within all innovation and research and development actors. Let me please try to talk about the development fields. We think that the importance to apply cluster policies both in urban and in rural context, considering strong urban-rural economic disparities, is high, and it's important that the IP cluster is meant to unfold beneficial effects across the country. This task should be, as some dedicated firms already exists with respectable potential, and it can still work if clustering activities are not restricted only to high technology industries, but also target labor-intensive manufacturing and service industries that can locate in more rural areas. This makes our clustering policy interesting tool, proof, and evidence for the economic policy makers to build on some theoretical consideration on the use of clusters and technoparks policy, and presents a real presupposed success story in Tunisia. From the side of infrastructure, the activation of the innovative laboratory workplace with the help of the Ministry of Industries, Mines and Energy in the dedicated technical centers. The implementation of this IP technical cluster should be assisted by the dedicated South Korean technoparks focusing on multilateral technical cooperation from funds to know-how in order to motivate all interested parts. Also, we need to install the most useful common machines in our technical center settings and share the best training and experimenting way with the customized technological levels and fields in order to establish and develop an innovative, dedicated structure. One of the most important of our work, of our Group 3 work, is to work on the SWOT analysis to try to know about strengths, opportunities, weakness, and threats. As strengths, we know already that the government support and budget can be made. In Tunisia also, we have high motivation and high political commitment, especially in industry, especially in textile and apparel industry also. Our industry and education infrastructure are respectful, and it's useful to implement, and there is already some useful implemented and dedicated start-uppers which are already working. We have the best productivity, the best quality, and the best labor cost in our area. And that's why we are the second worldwide working wear supplier to the Europe after China. We already demonstrate have motivation and open mind of Tunisian engineers and practitioners with great abilities and ambitions. The opportunity are about the high technological and even innovative level of our South Korean partner and all others also. A best strategic localization, resources, a growing IPE world market with higher demand, an obligation to move on a difficult situation, and this is an opportunity for us. It's not a problem or threat or weakness. A repetitive, stressful situation, avoiding risks and obligation for decent work. The possibility to achieve an economy of scale with the South Korean partners using an efficient business model, and the moving of the world from the IoT to IoE era. Regarding weaknesses, there is a low level of research and development synergy, low logistical infrastructure, low lobbying and business experience, low resources valorization initiatives, low level of initiatives to facilitate institutional and industrial coordination, and low potential to ensure end-to-end technopoles and technoparks projects. Regarding the threats, there is a lack of innovation and IP laws and lawyers, lack of working group mindset, divergence of goals and points of view, lack of research and development experience in technical centers, lack of budget to ensure projects sustainability, and high cost of research and development innovation with low return on investment for IPE in development countries like Tunisia. In development countries like not like Tunisia, but we hope that we will be a development country as soon as possible, and it's a must for us. For the solution, we try to prepare a specific IPE cluster success story to justify the evidence of the building of dedicated technoparks. As the Tunisia have advanced state of human capital and infrastructure in textile and apparel industry, and considering the economic dynamism of Tunisian urban areas and the compressed geographical status, the creation of employment opportunity for young people is an especially pressing task in all regions, and the academic education is widespread, and university graduates represent a sizable proportion of employment of youth. So I will pass I will try to go on with our presentation, and I will skip some parties to try some parts to try to talk more about our action plan, as we already present. Let me just present the necessities to synergize clusters for building technoparks, as the Tunisian clustering concentrate only on soft measures with high degrees of networking. This shouldn't be the only specific focus on our cluster, considering for the social structures into which economic agents and their actions will be appreciated and promoted to move on best economic situation, with active clusters working on innovation and research and development to try to develop the technoparks business in regional industries and fostering innovative technopoles, universities, technical centers, SMEs, and startups. So this is our action plan, and I didn't want to share the word action plan, as it's a little bit not really presented. We try to improve this presentation in the final action plan, but our action plan is quite consistent, because just we try to put the what, the actions, the who, the actors, the mechanism, the why, the instruments, the agents, the how many as a target, the how much as a budget, even we didn't success as well the evaluation of the budget, as there is a low experience on it for us, as because just all of our group 3 members are engineers and didn't have a great experience in finances. Maybe we can ask for some help for this part. The when, which is very important, and our action plan is spread on 2 to 3 years with specific KPIs. So on our action plan, we start by stakeholders identification, how to ensure legacy, how to ensure budget, how to prepare a project planification, how to prepare a communication and the marketing plan, how to check and improve with South Korean partner as a usual checking point after each step, to try to be as well guided by the most experienced and proactive people on the world. To contact technopoles, to contact industrials, and to contact universities and associations, businesses all over the project. So this contact should be as a usual step. Later, we will check again with our partner and try to prepare the IP market study for the real needs of the market, the customers, and try to relate them with what we can do together. The factories project needed selection will be done also with our partner, and we hope that we can start on January 2024, in 2 years, almost 2 years, to start the IP clustering activities as a pilot project. The ultimate goal for us is already to try to move with this map, and this is a map with 9 stars as a technopoles, which already exists, and we try to present all of them with their address, with their email address, and with their all identification needs. This is our starting point, and we already present some of them, like the technoparks in Al Ghazala, in Monastir, in Sousse, in Gafsa, in Sfax, in Gabas, and there is also one other in Bizerte. We are so sorry to didn't motion it. We will try to work on it, and we already try to present their roles, but we focus more on the textile cluster, which is the pole of competitivity of Monastir and El Fajr, which already exists, and with it's one of the most important future partners that we can try to work with them to try to synergize it, the industrial and the businesses focus, and to enable to let us be able to move on Technopark's ecosystem. So this is all of the contacts on our Technopoles, which already exists, and this is where we are now. As you see, it's a really important infrastructure that it's already done. So I will talk again with our mission. It is specific energy dedicated to develop the IPE business. The objective is a success story in specialized IPE field by consolidating the Tunisian offer to the European and worldwide market and seeking new opportunities by total integration from concept to customers for African markets, which is already improving and with high value added IPE products and services developed with our South Korean partner. The goal is to enhance Technopark's developments in Tunisia by specific success story in IPE clustering pilot project. The main functions and components are about research and development support using the research center, joint specific laboratory instruments, business and entrepreneurship, business incubator, mentoring and consulting, training as a training program and innovation seminars, IPE market studies to see features and advantages as the tax-free advantages for exporter and the customized technical assistance. The major issues and difficulties in developing the Technopark models are about the pressure of cluster policy, which are aimed by promoting innovation in certain flagship sectors, and those sectors includes not only knowledge-intensive ones, but the targeted industries and technologies are mechatronics, textiles, leather, and shoes making, agriculture, and information and communication technology. And these clusters are supposed to be located near the existing industrial area infrastructure or research and development and education institution. And as example, we motion the Bizerte Technopoles, the Boursedria, the Al Ghazala, Sfax, Gafsa, and more of the already Technopoles which are already exists. We should work more on the law policy, which are supposed to be studied and developed. On the side budget also, as we say before, that more evaluating effort should be made. And from the side of supporting SMEs and startups, they have to be informed, involved, motivated, evaluated, and challenged in this project. For other linkage, we see that the sustainability of the project can be can be really the most point to develop, because as the experience that we have is that we know how to start projects, but we have to let them be sustainable and with end-to-end vision. Where we are now, we are in this map, and what we can hope and what we have to work on it is to pass from the left side to the right side, from the absence of end-to-end synergy between partners, universities, technical centers, industry, businesses, and people, to try to activate the business support program and networking in all over Tunisia. I hope that one day we will see Tunisia with all of these yellow and red stars as technopoles and maybe as technoparks, to try to work from partners to people and to fulfill with this project. Thank you very much. It was the presentation of the Group 3 with their action plan and how to synergize our work with clustering effort to go on the Technoparks initiative. Thank you.
Donc, bonjour à toutes et à tous.
네, 여러분 안녕하십니까?
On va présenter notre exposé en français.
네, 저는 불어로 발표를 하도록 하겠습니다.
D'abord, je voudrais bien remercier toute l'équipe du groupe 4 pour leur précieuse collaboration.
네, 저희 일단 4조의 그 조원분들께 그 협조해 주셔서 굉장히 감사하다는 말씀을 드리면서 시작하고 싶고요.
Nos amis collègues Amira et Ali de pôle Bizerte, ma collègue Wafed du pôle de Guedes et Narjas et Amina du Technopark pôle Sadriya.
네, 저희 조원들은 뭐 가베스 테크노폴 그리고 세드리아 보르지 테크노폴 등에서 그 소속이 되어 있습니다.
Donc, on va commencer par donner quelques chiffres clés de l'économie tunisienne. La croissance a repris en 2021 donc lentement, et le PIB tunisien a augmenté de 3,1%. Le niveau de PIB après la crise n'a cependant pas encore a été retrouvé, et les perspectives de croissance pour 2022 sont faibles. Le taux de chômage est passé de 16% à 18% au troisième trimestre 2021. Pour les comptes publics, donc le déficit a explosé de moins 3,4% du PIB en 2019. En 2021, le déficit budgétaire s'élève à moins 8,3% du PIB. Le déficit budgétaire donc, devrait se maintenir autour de moins 6,7% du PIB en 2022. La dette publique atteindrait donc 90,2% du PIB en 2021 contre 39% du PIB fin 2010 selon le Fonds donc, mondial d'investissement.
일단 저희 튀니지의 경제 지표를 간단하게 말씀을 드리도록 하겠습니다. 경제 성장과 고용에 대해서 말씀을 드릴 텐데요. 일단 2021년에는 경제 성장이 조금씩 더 다시 좀 상승세를 타고 있는 그러한 추세이고, 튀니지 GDP가 2021년에 3.1% 증가를 했습니다. 그리고 그 위기 이전에 그 저희의 그 GDP 그 수준 같은 경우에는 그렇게 썩 좋은 편은 아니었는데 2022년에 그 경제 성장 전망도 좀 다소 약한 편입니다. 그리고 현재 그 실업률은 그 경제 활동 가능 인구의 16%였었는데 예전에는 2020년에 16%였었는데 2021년에 18%로 조금 증가를 했습니다. 그 다음에는 이제 저희의 그 재정에 대해서 말씀을 드릴 텐데요. 2020년에는 사실 저희 공공재정 상황이 좀 약간 악화가 되었습니다. 물론 이제 그 코로나19 때문인 그런 측면이 크고요. 그래서 현재는 이제 그 저희의 적자가 마이너스 3.4%가 되고 있고, 그리고 2019년에 GDP의 마이너스 3.4%, 그리고 2020년에 GDP의 마이너스 9.6% 이렇게 기록을 하고 있습니다. 그리고 2021년에는 이런 그 적자, 그 재정 적자가 그 GDP의 마이너스 8.3%까지 오른 상태입니다. 그리고 현재 그 재정 그 적자 같은 경우에는 2022년에는 GDP의 마이너스 6.7% 정도를 맴돌 것으로 저희가 예측을 하고 있고, 그리고 현재 저희의 공공부채 같은 경우에는 2021년에 GDP의 90.2%였던 반면에 90.2%입니다. 반면에 2010년에는 GDP의 39%였습니다.
Pour les gestions extérieures, donc le déficit commercial, donc en 2020, à moins 5 millions de dollars en 2021. Les recettes touristiques ont augmenté de plus que 15%. Le flux des investissements directs à l'étranger entrant en Tunisie sur les 6 premiers mois de 2021 ont baissé de moins 7,4% sur un an. Le déficit courant donc atteint moins 6,3% de PIB en 2021.
네, 저희 현재 그 무역 적자에 대해서 말씀을 드리자면은 좀 악화가 된 상태인데 2020년에는 마이너스 39억 달러였고 2021년에는 마이너스 50억 달러까지 그 적자가 가 있는 상태입니다. 그리고 현재 그 관광 수입 같은 경우에는 이제 15% 증가를 하였고요. 또 튀니지로 들어오고 있는 FDI를 말씀을 드리자면은 2021년 상반기, 그러니까 그 1월부터 6월까지에는 마이너스 7.4%가 즉 감소를 했습니다. 그리고 현재 그 적자는 2021년 기준 GDP의 마이너스 6.3%를 차지하고 있습니다.
Pour l'employabilité, la Tunisie compte plus que 500 milliers d'employés dans le secteur industriel, la plupart d'entre eux dans le secteur du 30% pour le secteur textile, 29% pour le secteur de la mécanique électrique et 14% pour le secteur de l'agroalimentaire.
네, 저희의 고용률에 대해서 말씀을 드리자면은 튀니지 같은 경우에는 50만 저기 혹시 저 화면이 글씨를 가리는데 조금 옮겨주시면 될까요? 아니요. 네, 그 사람들 나와 있는 그 창이.
Pour le tissu industriel de Tunisie comporte environ 5 000...
On n'a pas encore terminé, pardon. On est en train de modifier.
Ok.
Pardon, merci. 그래서 튀니지는 현재 그 산업 분야에서 50만 명 정도의 인구를 고용을 하고 있고 대부분의 이 고용된 인구들이 섬유 분야에서 고용이 되어 있고 또 기계 전자 분야에서 전기 분야에서 고용이 되고 있고 또 농식품 분야에서 고용이 되어 있는데 섬유에서 30%, 기계 전기에서 29% 그리고 농식품에서 14%가 고용이 되어 있습니다.
Donc, le tissu industriel de la Tunisie compte environ 5 000 entreprises ayant un effectif supérieur ou égal à 10, qui emploient près de 52 000 personnes, dont 92% de ces entreprises sont des PME. 2154 entreprises totalement exportatrices qui emploient près de 343 000 personnes, plus de 1600 entreprises étrangères, principalement européennes, dont 36% de la France, 25% d'Italie et 8% d'Allemagne et 5% de Belgique. Donc, 892 sont à capitaux 100% étrangers et 1160 entreprises sont totalement exportatrices.
네, 그리고 현재 저희 그 튀니지 산업에 대해서 이제 그 산업 구조에 대해서 말씀을 드리자면은 일단 약 한 5,000개 정도의 기업이 현재 존재를 하고 있고 이 5,000개의 기업에서 약 52,000명의 그 인력을 고용을 하고 있고 이 5,000개의 기업 중에 92%가량이 SME입니다. 중소기업입니다. 그리고 2,154개의 기업들이 온전히 수출업만을 하고 있고 이 수출 기업들에서 고용하고 있는 인력이 34만 3천 명입니다. 그리고 1,600개 이상의 외국인 기업들이 있는데요. 주로 이제 뭐 유럽 기업들입니다. 프랑스 기업 36%, 이탈리아 기업 25%, 독일 기업 8%, 벨기에 5% 등이 있고 이 중에서 892개 기업들 같은 경우에는 100% 외국 자본으로 이루어져 있고 1,160개의 기업들, 이 1,600개의 외국 기업들 중에서 1,160개의 기업들은 온전히 수출만을 하고 있습니다.
L'agriculture donc joue un rôle relativement modeste dans l'économie tunisienne, représentant 16% de la main-d'œuvre et 12% du PIB du pays, tout en connaissant donc une croissance d'environ 2% par an. En 2021, le secteur de transformation alimentaire comptait environ 1280 entreprises qui employaient chacune 10 personnes ou plus. Environ 20% de ces entreprises ne produisent que pour l'exportation. La valeur de production de ce secteur est d'environ 12 milliards de dollars par an.
네. 일단 수치에 대해서 말씀을 드리면은, 농업 같은 경우에는, 저희 튀니지 경제에서 차지하는 비중이 그렇게 크지는 않습니다. 일단 노동력의 16%를 고용을 하고 있고, 저희 국가 GDP의 12%를 차지하고 있고, 매년 2% 정도의 성장을 하고 있는 분야가 바로 농업 분야입니다. 그리고 2021년에는, 식품 가공 분야에서 약 1,280개의 기업이 있었고, 이 중에, 이 기업들 같은 경우에는 각각 평균적으로 한 10명이나 한 10명 약간 이상의 인원들을 고용을 하고 있습니다. 그리고 이 기업들의 20%가량이 수출 그 목적의 그 제품만을 생산을 하고 있습니다. 그리고 이 분야 식품 가공 분야에서 발생되고 있는 가치는 매년 약 120억 달러 정도에 해당합니다.
Les principales exportations liées à l'agriculture étaient les suivantes. L'huile d'olive, 564 millions de dollars. Les dattes, 236 millions de dollars. Les produits de la pêche, 204 millions de dollars. Et les agrumes, 8 millions de dollars.
네. 저희 그 농업 분야에서 이제 수출로 얻어지는 수익을 말씀을 드리자면 올리브유 같은 경우에는 약 5억 6,400만 달러, 그리고 대추야자, 데이트에서 그 생산이 되는 파생되는 그 수출액은 2억 3,600만 달러, 그리고 수산물 그 수출로 얻어지는 창출되는 수익이 약 2억 달러, 그리고 그 오렌지류, 시트러스류에서 그 수출로 창출되는 수익이 800만 달러 정도 됩니다.
En 2020, les principales importations agricoles étaient les suivantes. Le blé, 595 millions de dollars. Soja, 278 millions de dollars. Maïs, 265 millions de dollars. Huile végétale, 207 millions de dollars. Et le sucre, 73 millions de dollars.
네, 그리고 2021년에 주요 농산물 수입 액수는 다음과 같았습니다. 밀 같은 경우에는 5억 9,500만 달러, 대두류는 2억 7,800만 달러, 옥수수 2억 6,500만 달러, 그 식물성 기름이 2억 700만 달러, 그리고 설탕이 7,300만 달러였습니다.
Les entreprises du secteur de l'industrie agroalimentaire représentent 74 803 emplois, dont 17 757 dans des entreprises entièrement exportatrices.
그리고 농식품 가공 산업 분야의 기업들이 현재 74,803개의 일자리를 창출하고 있고 이 중 17,757개의 그 일자리들 같은 경우에는 온전히 수출 품목만을 가공하는 회사에서 고용하고 있는 인원수입니다.
Maintenant, donc, on va présenter les objectifs de développement économique en Tunisie. Les principaux objectifs sont les suivants. Donc, un taux de croissance de 4%, réduction du taux de pauvreté à 2%, l'augmentation du taux d'investissement de 25%, création de 400 000 nouveaux postes d'emploi, réduction du taux de chômage à 12%, augmentation du taux d'épargne nationale à 18%, et enfin la réduction du secteur informel à 20% du PIB.
네, 저희 그 튀니지의 경제 목표에 대해서 말씀을 드리자면은 저희의 그 목표 성장률은 4%, 그리고 빈곤율을 2% 이하로 낮추는 것이 목표이고, 또 그 투자율을 25%까지 높이는 것이 목표이며, 40만 개의 일자리 창출이 목표이고, 실업률을 12% 이하로 낮추는 것이 목표이며, 또 그 국가 그 저축 비율을 18%까지 높이는 것이 목표이고, 또 집계되지 않는 그러한 그 비공식 그런 지하 경제의 비율을 GDP의 20% 이하로 낮추는 것이 목표입니다.
네, 중간에 죄송합니다. 저희가 시간 관계로 그러면은 앞부분은 지금 현황 위주로 작성이 되어 있어서 이제 그러면은 액션 플랜 쪽으로 바로 넘어가는 게 좋을 것 같은데요. 오늘 시간이 액션 플랜 세미나인 만큼 챕터 2의 솔루션 빌딩 테크노파크 부분부터 발표를 좀 진행해 주시면 좋을 것 같습니다.
Je suis désolée d'intervenir, mais étant donné que le temps est limité, en fait, est-ce qu'on pourrait directement passer au plan d'action, c'est-à-dire aux solutions, parce que actuellement c'est l'état des lieux.
Ok. En bref, les principaux axes stratégiques de développement, donc le repositionnement du système industriel sur le nouveau créneau à forte valeur ajoutée, la densification du tissu industriel dans les régions de l'intérieur pour réduire les inégalités régionales, l'amélioration du contenu technologique de l'industrie tunisienne et de sa valeur ajoutée, le développement d'une infrastructure industrielle attractive et compétitive, zone industrielle, zone de franche et technopole, et enfin la transformation de la Tunisie en un pôle de proximité tourné vers les services, les activités à haute valeur ajoutée.
네, 저희의 그 개발을 위한 그 전략적인 그 축에 대해서 말씀을 드리자면은, 일단 그 산업 체계를 그 리포지셔닝 하는 게 필요한데, 더 그 고부가가치 위주의 산업으로 그 재포지셔닝을 해야 될 것이고, 그리고 또 그 산업의 그 틀을 조금 더 촘촘하게 해가지고, 그 내륙 지역과 그 바닷가 쪽 지역 간의 그 격차를 줄여 나가도록 해야 할 것이며, 그리고 그 튀니지의 그 산업의 그 기술적인 그 콘텐츠들과 그리고 그 부가가치를 더 높이도록 해야 할 것이며, 그리고 더 매력적이고 더 경쟁력 있는 산업 인프라를 개발시켜 나감으로써 뭐 그런 산업단지라든지 뭐 그런 프리 이코노믹 존이라든지 뭐 테크노폴 이런 것들을 더 갖춰 나가도록 해야 될 것입니다. 그리고 그 다음으로는 튀니지를 그 보다 더 3차 산업, 그러니까 서비스나 아니면은 뭐 그 더 높은 부가가치의 그 경제 활동으로 더 그 초점이 맞춰져 있는 그러한 그 더 발전된 형태의 그런 그 산업 그 클러스터로서 그 국가 전체를 변모시켜야 할 필요가 있겠습니다.
Pour l'analyse SWOT, les principales forces, donc la Tunisie dispose d'un secteur privé et d'entrepreneurs actifs, dynamiques et ouverts, ayant capitalisé sur plus de 40 ans de savoir-faire et d'expérience dans les activités industrielles. Une proximité donc géographique des principaux marchés, l'Union européenne, région MENA, position stratégique dans la Méditerranée et ouverture vers l'Afrique. Signature d'accords de libre-échange et de voisinage et faible coût de production et délai de livraison pour favorisant le juste à temps.
수합 분석을 하겠습니다. 일단 스트렝스를 말씀을 드리겠습니다. 튀니지는 민간 부문을 잘 갖추고 있고 굉장히 활발하고 적극적인 뭐 그런 기업가들도 많이 있고, 이들은 역동적이면서도 오픈 마인드를 가지고 있고, 또 지금 40년 동안의 그 노하우와 경험을 축적을 하고 산업의 다양한 분야에서 활동을 하고 있습니다. 그리고 또 뭐 유럽연합이라든지 지중해 지역과 같은 뭐 그런 주요 시장들과도 지리적으로 인접해 있는 그러한 이점을 가지고 있습니다. 그렇기 때문에 뭐 아프리카로 통하는 관문, 그리고 지중해를 향한 관문으로서의 전략적 이러한 그 위치를 잘 이용할 수 있을 것이고요. 또 그 주변 국가들과 FTA를 체결을 한 것이 있고, 그리고 또 그 생산비가 저렴하고 또 그 딜리버리 기한도 짧게 걸리며 이것을 통해 가지고 시간에 맞게 이렇게 딱 그 시간 그 타임 안에 이렇게 그 모든 그 물건들을 딜리버리 할 수 있는 그런 그 위치를 가지고 있습니다.
La capacité de se positionner sur l'industrie à haute valeur ajoutée avec une complexité technologique plus avancée, la Tunisie possède des compétences et une formation à haut niveau, ressources humaines formées, jeunes, diplômés, compétents et compétitifs, un grand nombre de chercheurs et un vaste réseau d'institutions de recherche et développement.
스트렝스를 계속 이어서 말씀을 드리자면은 튀니지는 모든 그 지금 현재 산업들을 더 고부가가치 산업으로 재포지셔닝 시킬 수 있는 능력을 가지고 있고 이것을 위한 뭐 기술적인 복잡한 기술적인 뭐 능력도 충분히 갖추고 있습니다. 그리고 또 튀니지는 굉장히 이제 높은 수준의 교육을 갖추고 있는 인재들을 가지고 있고 또 잘 교육받은 그 인적 자원들, 젊은 인적 자원, 그리고 고학력의 능력 있는 인적 자원들을 가지고 있고 연구진의 수도 굉장히 많으며 또 여러 가지 그 연구 기관들과 그런 그 개발 기관들도 많이 갖추고 있고 네트워킹이 잘 되어 있습니다.
Les principales faiblesses, donc manque d'innovation technologique, opération limitée et production de masse de bagarre, segments avec peu de compétences et faible valeur ajoutée, manque de coordination entre la recherche et manque de synergie avec les entreprises industrielles, une gestion lourde, longue et forte de l'écosystème, une bureaucratie donc omniprésente et confusion des rôles des institutions de soutien.
네, 그럼 이제 위크니스로 넘어가도록 하겠습니다. 현재 이제 그 기술적인 혁신이 좀 부족한 상태이고, 그런 그 대량 생산, 저급 제품들에 대한 그 대량 양산을 위한 협력이 좀 제한적인 편이며, 굉장히 지금 현재로서는 이제 좀 부가가치가 낮고 경쟁력이 좀 낮은 그러한 세그먼트들이 존재하는 것이 사실입니다. 그리고 또 두 번째로는 그 연구와 그 연구진들 간의 이제 그런 그 코디네이션이 서로 좀 잘 이루어지지 않고 있는 것이 문제이고 또 그 산업 분야의 그 여러 기업들 간의 시너지가 부족한 점이 문제이며 또 굉장히 이제 뭐 그런 그 어떤 운영 뭐 그런 절차라든지 이런 것들이 굉장히 무겁고 시간도 오래 걸리고 또 굉장히 이렇게 좀 그 너무 그런 절차들이 좀 이렇게 너무 이렇게 지나치게 강요하는 바가 좀 많습니다. 그러다 보니까는 이제 국가 도처에 이렇게 그 관료주의가 만연하고 있는 것이 문제이고 그리고 그 지원 그 기관들 간의 그 역할이 좀 혼란스러운 점이 있습니다.
Rigidité des textes juridiques pour le recrutement du chercheur et absence des textes régissant donc les recherches, collaboration industrielle et relatifs à la propriété intellectuelle. Instabilité politique, économique et demande sociale permanente. Système éducatif et système de formation professionnelle ne se préparant pas à de nouvelles professions. Une infrastructure inadéquate, sous-développée, sous-exploitée.
네, 계속해서 위크니스를 이어서 말씀을 드리자면은 현재 그 법적 제도가 너무나도 엄격해가지고 연구진을 뭐 채용하는데 굉장히 좀 어려움이 있고요. 그리고 또 연구나 뭐 그 산업체들 간의 뭐 그런 협력에 관련된 그 법이 부재하고 있는 상태이며 지적재산권에 대한 법도 부재하고 있는 상태입니다. 그리고 또 정치적으로 경제적으로 불안정한 측면이 있고 또 그런 사회적으로도 좀 만연하고 있는 이제 뭐 그러한 그 좀 불안정성이 있고요. 그리고 그 다음에는 교육 시스템과 그 직업 교육 시스템이 새로운 그 종류의 직업군들을 양산해내는데 좀 부족한 측면이 있고 그리고 좀 개발이 덜 되어 있고 좀 부적절하면서도 좀 잘 이용되지 못하고 있는 그런 인프라들이 있는 실정입니다.
Les principales opportunités sont donc accès facile aux principaux marchés de l'Union européenne, du Moyen-Orient et de l'Afrique du Nord et du Moyen-Orient. Donc, transition, développement et intégration de nouveaux secteurs technologiques tels que l'industrie 4.0, augmentation des exportations et pénétration de nouveaux marchés potentiels et de multiples avantages comparatifs non tarifaires.
또 기회, 오퍼튜니티에 대해서 말씀을 드리자면은 유럽연합이나 아니면 중동, 뭐 북아프리카 그리고 중동과 같은 이제 뭐 그런 주요 시장들과 이제 지리적으로 가깝다는 그런 이점이 있고 그리고 또 그 다음으로는 그 인더스트리 4.0 그 4차 산업혁명과 관련된 이제 뭐 그런 그 신기술 그 섹터에 있어서 그쪽으로 전환을 하고 그쪽을 개발시키고 그쪽으로 통합할 수 있는 이제 뭐 그런 기회를 저희가 가지고 있고요. 또 세 번째로는 또 수출이 현재 새로운 그러한 그 가능성 있는 잠재적인 시장들로의 그 수출이 저희가 늘어나고 있는 상태입니다. 그리고 점점 그쪽으로도 저희가 진출을 늘려가고 있고 또 그 비과세와 관련된 이제 그러한 그 저희가 그 비교 우위를 또 점호하고 있습니다.
Mondialisation des chaînes de valeur, collaboration internationale entre universités, laboratoires et centres de recherche, ce qu'on appelle transfert de technologie, des demandes croissantes de marchés potentiels pour des produits innovants et de qualité.
계속해서 기회입니다. 밸류 체인의 세계화가 있고, 그리고 그 다음으로는 대학과 그 연구소와 연구원들 간의 그 국제적인 콜라보레이션이 이루어지고 있고, 이로써 이제 그 기술 이전이 가능하다는 장점이 있고요. 그리고 또 그 혁신적이면서도 그 품질 높은 그러한 제품들에 있어서 뭐 그 잠재력이 높은 시장들에서 수요가 증가하고 있다는 기회가 있습니다.
Enfin, donc les menaces, immigration des compétences et fuite du cerveau, troubles sociaux et instabilité politique, participation limitée à l'exportation de produits à forte valeur ajoutée, perte de compétitivité et perte d'avantages comparatifs, forte concurrence d'autres pays voisins, comme l'Algérie et le Maroc, fermeture et dépollution d'entreprises industrielles vers d'autres pays concurrents.
네, 그럼 threat 마지막 그 위협에 대해서 말씀을 드리겠는데요. 현재 뭐 그런 능력 있는 그 인재들이 그 외국으로 떠나고 있는 두뇌 유출 현상이 벌어지고 있고, 또 사회적으로 이제 여러 가지 뭐 문제들이 많고 정치적으로 불안정한 상태라는 점이 있으며, 또 그 부가가치가 높은 그 제품들의 수출이 좀 아직까지는 제한적이다라는 문제가 있고, 또 경쟁력이 상실되었고 비교 우위가 상실되었다는 점이 있으며, 또 다른 여러 그 저희 이웃 국가들과의 경쟁이 점점 더 심화되고 있다는 점, 그리고 그 저희의 그런 그 산업과 관련된 뭐 그런 기업들이 폐업을 하거나 아니면은 뭐 더 경쟁력이 있는 나라들로 그 이전을 하고 있다는 문제가 있습니다.
Retard dans la mise en œuvre des réformes, perte de compétitivité et d'attractivité par rapport aux pays concurrents, manque d'attrait pour les produits tunisiens qui deviennent peu compétitifs, et enfin l'élimination de l'industrie tunisienne de la chaîne mondiale.
네, 그리고 계속해서 위협을 말씀을 드리자면은 그 개혁을 이행하는 것이 점점 늦어지고 있다는 점, 그리고 경쟁력과 그 매력도를 다른 경쟁 국가들에 비해서 상실하고 있다는 점, 그리고 그 다음으로는 더 경쟁력이 그 튀니지의 제품들이 더 경쟁력이 좀 없어지면서 이제 그 끌어들이는 힘이 더 약해지고 있다는 점, 그리고 마지막으로는 세계적인 그 세계적 체인에 있어서 체인 내에서의 그 튀니지의 산업이 점점 삭제되어져 가고, 그 튀니지의 산업이 전 세계 체인에서 삭제되어 가고 있다는 점이 있습니다.
Maintenant, donc, on va présenter en bref un état de lieu des technopoles en Tunisie, comme donc mentionné par mes collègues. Donc, l'allocation géographique des technopoles en Tunisie est répartie dans toutes les régions sud, nord et différentes donc, régions de la Tunisie. Il y a des pôles donc, labellisés, il y a des pôles multisectoriels comme le cas de Gebs et Gafsa. Donc, les principales missions.
네, 방금 전에는 이제 저희가 그 튀니지의 그 테크노폴에 대해서 말씀을 드렸었는데요. 뭐 지리적으로 뭐 튀니지 내에 뭐 남부, 북부 그리고 뭐 여러 곳들에 다양하게 배치가 되어 있는 점을 지도상에서 보실 수가 있습니다.
Donc, comme vous voyez dans le schéma, donc le rôle principal des technopoles et des clusters, c'est de faire la synergie entre le trio, donc production, développement, formation et recherche. Les principales composantes, donc, ce sont des centres de ressources technologiques, des établissements d'enseignement supérieur, des centres de recherche, un espace en commun et des pépinières d'entreprise.
네, 그리고 저희 이제 그 튀니지의 테크노폴이 어떻게 세팅이 되어 있는지를 말씀을 드리자면 일단 세 가지 중요한 축이 있습니다. 바로 교육기관, 연구기관, 그리고 생산을 하는 이제 그 산업체 이렇게 있는데, 뭐 여기에는 그런 고등 대학 이상의 뭐 그런 고등 교육기관이라든지 이제 이러한 주체들이 다양하게 연관이 되어 있습니다.
On termine donc par les principales problématiques et les principales recommandations. Pour les problématiques, tous les technopoles, donc il y a des problèmes fonciers surtout, tout ce qui est recherche de terrain, problème de changement de vocation des terrains, une absence d'un cadre réglementaire uniforme qui gère l'activité des pôles, mission des pôles, labellisation, statut du personnel, et surtout chevauchement des missions entre les pôles et l'agence foncière de l'industrie en matière d'aménagement des zones industrielles.
네, 그리고 저희 테크노폴들이 이제 현재 직면하고 있는 주요 문제에 대해서 말씀을 드리자면 토지와 관련된 문제가 상당히 많이 지금 제기가 되고 있습니다. 그래서 뭐 토지를 찾는 그 부지를 찾는 문제에서부터 뭐 토지의 용도 변경 문제 이제 이런 문제들에 직면을 해어 있고 또 현재 이제 일관된 어떤 그런 규제의 틀이 부재하고 있습니다. 그래서 일관된 규제의 틀이 있어야지 그것이 이제 테크노폴들의 여러 활동들을 다 이제 관할을 하게 될 텐데, 관장을 하게 될 텐데, 그런 일관된 틀이 부재하고 있다는 점이 문제이고, 또 마지막으로는, 테크노폴과, 또 산업청 간의 뭐 그런 역할들이 이제 좀 뒤섞인 측면이 있기 때문에, 그런 산업단지들의 뭐 그런 정돈이라든지 정비라든지 이런 거에 있어서 두 기관 간의 역할 혼돈이 있습니다.
Les principales recommandations, donc, arrêter donc, une stratégie globale des pôles et une stratégie spécifique pour chaque pôle. Définir la stratégie de la recherche et développement et les outils donc, de financement de l'innovation. Définir les modes de gestion des projets collaboratifs et prendre en compte les bonnes pratiques en les adaptant au contexte de l'environnement régional.
그래서 저희가 이제 이러한 상황을 타개하기 위해서 이제 권고하고 있는 사항들은 첫 번째로는 테크노폴들에 대한 글로벌한 전략, 전반적인 전략을 중단을 하고, 각각의 테크노폴에 적합한 각각의 다른 이제 그런 개별적인 전략을 취할 것을 권고를 하고 있고, 두 번째로는, R&D 전략을 정의를 하고, 그리고 혁신을 위한, 파이낸싱 툴을 마련하도록 저희가 하고 있고, 세 번째로는, 협력 프로젝트들의 관리 방식을 정확하게 정의를 하고, 굿 프랙티스를 또 반영을 함으로써 이것을 어떻게 반영하냐 하면은 각 지역의 뭐 여러 환경과 그런 맥락에 맞게끔 이제 그거에 걸맞는 굿 프랙티스를 저희가 이제 취해서 실천하도록 그렇게 권장을 하고 있습니다.
Merci beaucoup pour votre aimable attention.
네, 경청해 주셔서 감사합니다.